Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, tasting often rare and exotic whiskeys. Not sure how rare and exotic this is. I think everyone and their uncle has done a video about this already. Roseisle, special release 2023 from Diageo, 12 years old. The very first bottling ever of Roseisle. Wow! But wait, there's more. Whiskybase 283922. The Origami Kite. First-Fill Ex-Bourbon and Refill. Casks 56.5% ABV. Over here in Germany, I have found prices between 120 independent stores and 139 euros directly from malts.com, which is Diageo themselves. Which I find 20 euros a lot of a difference there, to be honest. Now, Roseisle is a magnificently interesting behemoth in the whiskey world. Now, according to my, oh look, I get to pull it up for the first time, my 2024 Malt Whiskey Yearbook. It doesn't even get a whole page because it was opened after Kilhoman. We have here from our author here, Ingvar. I need to look at the author's name again here. So that was here, Ingvar. Genau, Ingvar Ronda. We've never met. I would love to meet you one day. Maybe we'll do that. Come to my booth at Limburg if you're there next year. All right, so Roseisle is located on the same site as the already existing Roseisle malting just west of Elgin. So I was in Elgin, that was before COVID, so 2019, and I did not see the distillery there. And the distillery is equipped with 2 stainless steel full lauter mash tuns with a 12.5 ton charge each. So that's how I understand. Then it says here, there are 14 large 112,000 liters stainless steel washbacks. How many times do I need to be have those stainless steel washbacks charged if I have 12.5 tons? So 1 ton is 1,000 liters, so it's 12.5 liters. So 12.5 thousand liters. So I almost need to do 8 mash tons to fill 1 washback. Now, 112,000 liters sounds like a lot, but if you go to in America, for example, over here to Wilderness Trail, if you go to Bardstown Bourbon Company, you've got other places, you have 20,000 to 40,000 gallons. So 3.8 times 2, okay, but if you have the 40 to 30,000 gallons, that's the same size. So these are not unique in the world, but they are very, very big for Scotland. And they have 14 stills. So now, the entire distillery, Roseisle, was built for one concept: energy efficiency, reduction of CO2 for Diageo with their whiskey production. And they achieved that. Now, we need a lot of heat to make whiskey, all right? So you need to heat up the wash, you need to heat up in the mash tun, you need to heat up in the pot still, you need to heat up. You heat it up in the mash tun, you cool it down for the fermenters. You need to heat it up in the pot stills. You need to have the condenser to cool it back down into the liquid state. And all that heat going up and down with the temperature means a lot of inherent inefficiencies. But luckily, there's some smart engineers out there in the world that go, heat exchangers. Anytime you add heat, no problem. Anytime you take away heat, no problem. We can do that for you. That's what a heat exchanger is for. So that's what they did. And with all the excess heat that is produced in order to make whiskey, they pipe it. They have a long 3-kilometer long 2 pipes that go back and forth to there in Roseisle and Birkhead, the malting facility. Malting needs heat. So, and they just take the hot water. Once again, you have a heat exchanger at the end. Poof, You put that heat exchanger, take that water, the heat out of that, put the cold water back over there, cooling water then, back over to Roseisle and use it to cool, use the heat for the malting, and you have a cycle. Excellent. I mean, from an engineer's point of view, you can't do it much better than that. So now, that is wonderful. And I commend Diageo for building this distillery, where they build it, how they build it, for the reasons they build it. I do not commend Diageo for waiting 12 long years to finally release a product that I can taste from that distillery. Now, I consider myself a whiskey nerd, whiskey geek, maybe even some people might call me a connoisseur of whiskey, and I want to rant and rave about almost every single new distillery that's out there. I want to rant about them sometimes, and I want to rave about them sometimes, all right? So I think I've tasted almost every single new distillery that's put something out in the market so far. And that's the only reason I bought the Roseisle 12 from the special release 2023. I do not understand anymore the pricing of special releases from Diageo. There's 20 euros between their own prices and then the online shops, but still, even there, I can't justify, in my own opinion, why I should be buying special releases. All right, so that's just me. They priced me and many of my people that I know out of that market. At least here in Germany, at least here in Europe, all right? But I did pay my 120 euros for this bottle. I did a bottle share, and now I get to try this. Now, I can't say that I've never tasted Roseisle. I just didn't know about it. All right, so you can go online and find, at least my German channel, from Collectivum, the 23, the XXV111, or III. I tasted that, so I've actually tasted some of this Roseisle, and I guarantee you, and this is the interesting thing, that we've also tasted Roseisle distillate in other Diageo products that are their blends. Because I don't think they've just been putting whiskey away for 12 years now, not touching any of it. They've been doing that. And the last thing that is very, very interesting that I think is, it says here, the fermentation time for a space-side style of whiskey is 90 to 100 hours, which is that grassy type of moment. And for a heavier style, it's between 50 and 60. And not even only that, they can also switch here. The spirit vapor are cooled through either copper condensers, which are in 3 spirit stills and 3 wash stills. There's also stainless steel condensers attached so that we can switch to that sulfury style. So you take a nice little 50 to 60 hour fermentation, you run it through, instead of the copper condensers, the stainless steel, and then you have a much more of a sulfury, meaty type of distillate, maybe like a Mortlach. Now you put it in there and you let it sit for 100 hours for fermentation. You put it through the copper, you get a more of a grassy, green type of fresh citrus moment more. And that's what this is, in my opinion. All right. So now I thought briefly, and I just looked at my bottles that I had just around. What bottle can I compare this to? And I picked this. There's no video online about this yet, at least not in German. This is a bottle share. Sorry, this is a cask share I did. So I bought a share of a cask a couple of years ago, and this is a German independent bottler called the Warehouse Number 8, and this is the Warehouse and Friends Glen Glasgow 9-year-old. This is 56.5. This is 57%. I paid 120 for this. I paid 38 euros for this. It's cask strength, single barrel, but I sold 5 of my 6 bottles I got in that cask share for 50 euros a piece. So I can get more than 2 of these for 1 of these. This is single cask. This is one of tens of thousands, I would guess. Let's just say thousands. Thousands and thousands of bottles worldwide of this. This has, what was it, 208? Oh, it was a hogshead. We got 298 bottles out of here. Ooh, all right. Very, very good at cask strength. So I'm just going to compare the two. Is it fair for this? We'll see. All right, on the nose. I'm missing a lot. There's a little bit of a vanilla moment. There's a tiny little bit of a wood moment. There's a tiny little bit of elderberries going on in here. There's a tiny little bit of a little bit like a icing for a lemon cake. Yeah, so you take your powdered sugar, you take your lemon juice, and you put it all together a little bit there, butter and so on. That's what I'm getting here. Not much. It's okay. It's like a C on the nose here. It's it's okay, but it's not. If I'm paying 100+ euros for a bottle, I want to smell something and go, oh, that's interesting. I want more. This is like, eh, maybe. This, on the other hand, if I smell it, oh, that's so good. Imagine, I'm going to use Fred Minnick's word here because we have, where I live, marzipan. All right? That's just ground almonds together with powdered sugar and so on, and a spice, a little bit of cinnamon in here. And think of we have over here stewed baked apples. All right? Think, uh, I've had canned peaches, but I've never had. Okay. Think of a apple strudel. Apple strudel is what I'm getting here. Cinnamon, apple, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful moment. This was actually made here in 2014. Billy Walker bought this distillery, I think, a year before that and sold it 2 years after. So this was actually made by Billy Walker. That's why we get the product, because Brown-Forman's not selling much anymore, and Diageo's not selling anything either. There's basically been all the big boys have stopped selling casks to the independent bottlers at the moment. Oh, we'll see. They're holding on to them and going, oh, we don't know what's going to happen, but the prices are at the moment crazy, so we're just going to keep them for ourselves. So we'll see. We'll see. All right. So 56.5, 57. Both of these, I have no alcohol burn. Well done. I get a little bit more of a. That the wood does not show itself from the best side. There seem to be a few tired casks in here on the nose. Cheers. Okay. The very first thing that I like is it's creamy. There's a thickness, there's a viscosity. What I really, really dislike is the aftertaste. It's drying and it's bad. It's old casks. Wow. Not my cup of tea. It's still very drinkable with 56.5%, but the flavor that I'm getting is absolutely not what WhiskyJason, wants from a Speyside whiskey. A little fresh apples, green apples, sour apple. A tiny wood, bitterness. Maybe a tad bit of ginger going on in there. Not what I want. No. The nose was better than the palate, in my opinion. All right. So I'm going to take a second nip, and then I'm going to put some water in there and give you my final judgment. At the moment, it's a C minus. Mm. 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 This tastes of tired casks. I could not even try to start to describe the character of Roseisle with this bottling. Had it not been the very, very first bottling ever of this distillery, I would never, ever have even conceived of buying this. And now I regret buying it. There's a tiny little bit of I'm going to go for pineapple, but it's more of a not yet ripe pineapple that they still put on the grill and tried to grill it. Not what I want. Not what I want. On the nose, a little bit more of a fruitiness, but on the palate is with water, it actually has more of that oaky bitterness that I do not love in this whiskey here. There is a tiny little bit of waxiness. I talked about the viscosity, the oiliness, and so on. It's that grassy type of moment that they were going for, but a little bit of lemongrass. I like lemongrass in my Thai food, but not really here what I want for my whiskey. All right, so what can I say here? A little bit of bitterness as well. Yeah. Okay, C minus. On a bad day with water, a C minus minus D plus plus, but it's a C minus. Value for money, F. Sorry. Uniqueness, A. Why? It's the first one ever. Yay. Boo, Diageo. Shame on you. You should have released a 10-year-old at 50 euros. So we can all try it and compare it to all the new brands. Lindor Abbey, Kingsbarn, I don't know. Let's go over here to... and the other ones, and the other ones, and the other ones. You know all the different ones, Eden Mill and whatever else is out there in the market. I market them, Duff Mill and whatever. But no, you had to put in the special release. You had to give us, the whiskey connoisseurs, geeks, nerds, whatever you call yourself, the feeling of, oh, it's so special and we have to pay so much for it and it's so exclusive. No, it's not. You're producing 10 million liters. You've produced in the last 12 years over 100 million liters of distillate. And are you going to all bottle it as Roseisle? No, it's going in the blends. It's cheap stuff. It's green and friendly, economically friendly, but it's not exclusive. There's no backstory history here. And yet you forced us to do it. And I must say, Diageo, sorry. Not your best moment in the history of the company. At least not for us whiskey geeks and whiskey nerds out there. Okay, rant over. To rave this Glen, I'm going to do a video about this soon. This Glen Glasshouse is just amazing. Bourbon Hogshead, 9 years, 57%. Oh, that's what whiskey should be like. Thank you, Whiskey Warehouse. Thank you, Glen Glasshouse. Thank you, Billy Walker. Thank you, T&T, Tom and Tom, that were behind this. Thank you that I could buy a share of this and have those bottles and just enjoy them and share them with others. This is very, very good stuff. Thank you very much for liking, sharing, subscribing, telling others, even about my rant here about Roseisle. Not worth it. Bye-bye.